Is the Maricopa County Board of Supervisors fighting a noble cause or spewing propaganda? This is Hub Radio. Hi, I'm Ron Lutters, and today we're here with our good friend, and I'm going to get his name right this time, John Roberts Blakey. Almost screwed it up. Almost screwed it up. And he's here today. He is an expert at audits, and we're talking about the Maricopa County Board of Supervisors totally ignoring the Arizona State Senate and all of the malarkey that is being spewed out here, and nobody seems to know what's happening, and I believe they're on the wrong track. So, John, you belong to Audit USA. Tell us about what Audit USA is.
Well, audit is an acronym, just to set the record straight. It stands for Americans United for Democracy, Integrity, and Transparency. And I mean all Americans, okay? This is what we do at Audit USA is not about the right or left, it's about right and wrong. And I'm here to work with Ron because the propaganda that is coming out of the Board of Supervisors is misdirecting, and we're gonna take clip by clip of the video that you put together to be able to help the public figure out the truth and demand that these elected officials really know that we talk the language. I always tell people it takes a geek to help understand the Greek language of elections, and I'm here to help do that.
Well, thank you. I do want to point something out right now. That, you know, a lot of people think this audit is to try to resurrect the campaign of Donald Trump. That is not what it is. The people of the state of Arizona, and more importantly of Maricopa County, John, don't have confidence in our elections anymore. And a lot of them have even stated that they don't care to vote anymore because their vote doesn't count. Now, I want to say this. I am a conservative Republican, and John?
I am a liberal in the classic sense. I call myself a progressive Democrat, but I'm not here as a Democrat. I'm here as an American.
And I'm here as an American as well.
And we're fighting cynicism together, aren't we, Ron?
Exactly.
And it's important that we have elections that we can believe in. And that's what I'm here for, that we can trust. And you know, talking about cynicism, it brings me to think about Mark Twain, that famous saying. And I believe a lot of people are going to join the Mark Twain party. And that's the party that believes that if elections made a difference, they wouldn't let us do it.
And that was written a long time ago, so there's been cynicism from probably the 18th, 19th, and 20th centuries.
Especially when you have computers. And by the way, I do believe that computers can count better than people, Ron. But I just don't trust the people that do the calculations and program those computers to do things, because I was on the fraction magic team, okay? They can fractionalize the vote. And elections are not any good unless they're transparent, trackable, and publicly verified. And these people coming out saying they've done 4 audits and they've done this and that, don't believe them. They're running logic and accuracy tests. And there are very important tests of logic and accuracy. That's when you take test ballots, you run it through the machine. And it only proves it's working right at this moment. And that's easily proven because Volkswagen sold 580,000 cars in the United States. And when it went through the emission test, there was a computer built in the car, and it knew when to cheat, okay? And the only reason they got them busted because they built an emission test. The car could be put into the car, into the trunk, and you could drive it around, and you found out that when the back wheels were really turning, it didn't tell the computer to turn on the pollution controls, okay? Because that's how they rigged it.
Well, you know, this is interesting. Now, the one thing that bothers me is I have been an auditor most of my life. I worked for the Auditor General of the state of Arizona, and I know what an audit is. There's all types of audits, but an audit doesn't need proof to trigger an audit. Audit is about compliance. Are they complying with the rules and the laws that the state Senate and the legislature have established? And herein lies the problem. The Senate wants to make sure that that happens. The Board of Supervisors does not want them to do that. And my question is, are they hiding something?
That's what we want to find out.
Exactly.
And that creates the cynicism that we're worried about.
Exactly.
We want people to have a trust in a black box. And by the way, we don't want a bad black box. We want a transparent box. So how do we make it transparent? Listen, We don't want the goddamn ballots. They keep saying we want the ballots, we want the ballots. No, we want the copies of the ballots.
Well, what we wanna
we
do
want
here-
the photocopies that are made. These machines don't count the ballot. They go into the machine, then the machine takes a picture of the ballot. It's in the chain of custody. They've actually married these two documents together, and they're created for auditing, and they're hiding that from you, Mrs. Public, okay? They want to keep misdirecting you. The Senate did not ask for the original ballots. They're in 1,400 boxes. Federal law requires to keep them that way, okay? What we want is what the machine counted the image. The image is married to it. Once we get done doing the image count, different ways, then we want to say, can we take a few of those images, Ron, and go into the boxes and match them like a fingerprint, Ron? Wouldn't that be a good
That
idea?
would be wonderful. Now, what we've done, we've taken some news reports and we've looked at those things because, once again, the media has no idea what they're talking about here. They keep saying that the Senate is asking for the ballots. Not true. And then we have this guy, Steve Gallardo, who seems to be the spokesperson for the Board of Supervisors, even though he's not the chairman. And he's making statements like, they're not going to get our machines, they're not going to get our ballots, and so forth. And now today we have video right here that shows them dismantling the machines.
Right.
For
We
God's
never
sakes.
asked for that.
And it's been like 85 or almost 90 days since the election, and these people are going through it with a fine-tooth comb, taking the machines apart. Once again, audits are about compliance. They're not about machines. And what do machines do? They do what they're told to do.
That's right. They can be programmed. They can be coded. We're voting on secret software. They're not looking at the secret software because they have not been given the code. The code is owned by these corporations who are counting our vote. Folks, there's a big difference between election fraud and voter fraud. And what makes me pleased is that my brothers and sisters in the Republican Party are starting to recognize election fraud, which is done on a huge wholesale difference. One person could make a big difference in several of the largest counties in the state if he gets access through a secret source when writing on, and we don't know.
And John, you've done this not only in Arizona, but in many other
I'm in
venues.
litigation in Florida right now, okay? I'm working in 6 states, and right now my focus is Arizona and Florida, even though I'm in Tennessee, even though I am in North Carolina, Pennsylvania, and other states working with folks. And I think that Arizona and Florida are going to be the first ones that are going to change because of the synergy between people like me and Ron. Americans, not Republicans, not Democrats, but Americans united for democracy, integrity, and transparency. It's an acronym. We've made it for 17 years as this group. We've learned a lot, and it's our pleasure to share what we know with our brothers and sisters from all over the country.
And what we do know is that this Board of Supervisors has not answered the proper subpoena, and it was properly served, and the Board of Supervisors could, in fact, go to jail. And as a matter of fact, the Senate is writing up papers right now to have these people arrested, the Board of Supervisors, and they should be. Now, if they're not arrested, there's something that you can do. You need to recall these people. And I'm speaking as a Republican. 4 of them are Republicans and 1 of them is a Democrat.
That's right.
They all need to go because if you read our founding documents, we, the people, are the government. They work for us. And the people that we've elected to the Senate have said they want to see the records for the people of Arizona, and these people don't want to share it to you. They want to do this themselves. Who ever heard of you checking yourself in an audit? Nobody should ever be allowed to check themselves and their responsibilities and duties themselves to say, well, I've done everything right. Well, do you believe that? I don't.
Yeah. And just on a side note, I witnessed the hand count audit. It was fatally flawed. I want you to know that one audit they did do after the election, 92% of all the ballots that were cast in the election never had a chance of being checked. It was a control pull. And folks, when you're going to have a lottery pick, you must commit the election results by the means that you're going to choose. They picked 50 batches of ballots starting 14 days out, 4 batches a day, and then they put a scarlet letter in the box saying, don't steal from this batch. And they left the other 9,550 batches of 200 ballots each totally vulnerable to an audit, to a heist. Now, I'm not saying that was done. I'm saying that we shouldn't wonder. Elections need to be real. No election is any good unless it's transparent, trackable, and publicly verified. Digital scanning is a gift, because the old system was a system that it was an optical scan, just like you were in school, and when you filled your oval in on the Iowa test, it went into a machine and a light came down on the dark spot you made, and that's how it counted. It didn't leave any evidence behind. These scanners, a ballot goes in, it takes a picture, that picture is what the machine, we want you, the supervisors, to protect the original ballots, leave them in the boxes. They're not sorted by precinct. If we get the images, we can sort them by precinct. There are 2 companies in this country that they could hire out and say, could you please run this in your system? Because we don't want to do, as Einstein would say, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result is a sign of insanity. So run it through a different system. Then break it into 743 batches of precinct votes. And then we'll show you at home how to count them yourself by having a ballot party.
Wonderful. I want to point something out, because here again, the media has just totally gone off the rails on this, which is not unusual for media, I might add. And they were saying, well, we've checked 48,000 ballots. Is that true?
No, well, what they said was they checked 47,000 ballots.
47,000.
No,
correct?
no, not at all. What they did count was 47,000 ovals on 8,000 ballots. In 2008, I sued them. In 2010, I sued them for not doing this right. And you know, I'm hoping that the Libertarian Party, who I worked for as their official observer for the last 16 years in Maricopa, off and on, is going to go ahead and pick up the mantle and sue, because they're blocking party oversight, and the parties are the ones that have the responsibility. I'm sorry, League of Women Voters, I think you're a great bunch of people, but you know, and I love you, okay? But I think you're going to be there as cheerleaders, because like they want to go ahead and play a game.
Let's just talk for a moment about the 47,000 ovals. Now, how many did they count in 2018? Ballots, I'm talking about.
On ballots, they counted 17,000 in 2008.
And how many should they have called?
Oh, they should have counted, according to my numbers with the statistics, I think that they should have done 25,000.
And how many did they actually do? Not the
8,000.
ovals. They only did 8,000 and should have done
8,100 and some
and
ballots.
should
I
have
the
done
numbers.
25,000.
Yeah, if you followed the standard of 2008,
Okay.
and if you counted 2% of the precincts, and if you counted 1% of the vote by mail or anything that come through an envelope, okay, they didn't. And it was not a real audit proving that the election was real. All it did was a good dog and pony show. After I did that audit with them, you know, I was very impressed with everything, and I said that to them. And then we did the audit, and I go, oh my God, is this election theater or not?
Okay, so
Without robust audits, it's not
let's
good.
do this. We got to wrap this up now. So what is the responsibility of the public? Ladies and gentlemen, you need to contact the state Senate. I don't care where you're from. You don't have to be from Maricopa County to call and say, you demand. Don't be kind anymore. This is ridiculous. We've talked to, I don't know how many, 90 days. We got all kinds of bells and whistles going on. But we have 90 days, folks, and the Board of Supervisors is saying, well, they should have done this earlier. Well, who's the one that took this to court? You could have complied when the subpoena was issued. 1, 2, you didn't do that. So, ladies and gentlemen, there's 2 things you need to do. You need to call the Senate. You need to, and when doing that, you might want to leave a little message with the Board of Supervisors that you intend to sign the recall. These people must go. There is no question about it. They are not public servants. They believe that they run things in this county. They're the ones that are responsible. No, we're the ones responsible. We tell them what we want to do in our county. Closing comment.
Folks, I have a button on and it says be the we, and that means we the people. Think like Americans. Let's throw off the parties and let's talk about making elections that we can believe in. Our country is in a dire situation. It's bad. and we need to make decisions, and we need to be able to elect people that we believe are going to represent us, and we need the right to fire those people when they don't. And when you don't have a black box that you can trust, well, let's get rid of the black box and let's make it a transparent box that we can believe in, because we need to act like Americans.
Right, now you have your assignment, ladies and gentlemen. Call the Senate, sign the recall, okay? And while you're there, click on subscribe to Hub Radio Phoenix. Thank you for being here.
No, thank you. And I just want the public know that if you want to contact me, you can reach me at johnbrakey@gmail.com. And if you want to know more about my group and what we do, you can go to www.auditelectionsusa.org. And thank you.